Today's weird.
Is it?
I think it's just because we're waking up. Like, I've been awake since 9, and I still feel tired.
Okay.
But I went to bed at like 1.
That's still a good 8 hours.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to That's the Way It Goes podcast, a.k.a. Twigs. This is episode 2.
3?
And no, episode 2.
Is it 2?
The first one was pilot. We'll call it the pilot.
Gotcha.
Well, I did call it the pilot episode.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
yeah, episode 2. Let's see what we can get into. You have any stories to kick us off? I know you said you had some stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I was driving over here.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of moon trees?
No.
So,
is it exactly what it sounds like?
What do you think it'd be?
I'm not gonna lie. When I said that, it sounded so stupid. Just moons on trees. It doesn't. It sounds like.
No,
not
it's
necessarily. It's gotta be a fruit, right?
No. It's actually seeds from like different species of trees that they wanted to take up to the moon. So I thought that's what you meant when you said, "Is it what it sounds?"
Okay, so I was semi-right then.
Yes, you were. Yeah. So during the space race, when we're doing Apollo missions, NASA decided to gather like the specimen seeds, and they wanted to take them to the moon.
Okay, so what is there like any specific like? So these trees now get renamed, like they get repurposed.
So these trees now are located across, let's say, the U.S., and they have like placards on them saying that they were once space seeds, and they're now fully grown. You could go see them whenever.
Oh, so these okay. So I guess so the plants grew on the moon.
They took them for that. They didn't necessarily grow them there, but they wanted to take them to test if they would grow any different, or if they could even grow.
Yeah.
But after these Apollo missions ended, they just brought them back, and they're like, you know what? They just dispersed them, and then they grew on like national grounds.
Okay, so why? Like, just to see
how they would react, I guess.
So I guess I'm trying to wrap my head around the purpose. I guess like it's cool, but okay. First of all, so people can go see them, right? That's what you said.
You could, yeah.
How much does it cost to go see them?
I think
Is it just
they
like
don't
sitting
really
in a
cost
museum?
anything.
Okay,
No, they're
been...
across like forest or like that, and they just have their placards on them stating that they were once a part of the.
Do you know if they're still growing?
I on the video I saw, it said yes. It said many of these trees are fully grown. Like, it's been 50 years since that, so it's probably like a massive tree right now.
I wonder though, is if it's like a special process to grow them. Right, because like if I guess if part of their lifetime they had to like adapt to the moon, how did that affect them coming back here? Is there like moon soil that they have to like feed it?
It could possibly be that maybe the roots got adjusted to the environment of the moon, and here they just thrived better.
Yeah, because
obviously we know that the moon has less gravitational pull. It has almost no atmosphere. So with that being said, maybe less oxygen.
Yeah. I guess like it sounds like one of those like big step for mankind type of things.
Yeah, I think maybe Buzz Aldrin or Neil Armstrong. They're like, you know what? We'll just take these back.
What was the deal with? I don't remember I don't remember if it was debunked or what. Like the whole "did we go to the moon" conversation.
Do you believe in that?
I don't know, think it's dude. Real. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you and call me a conspiracy theorist, whatever. I don't think so.
No, me neither. No, there's a lot of videos. Now, I never knew if it was debunked, but there's a lot of videos trying to prove that it would be.
Well, and the concern to me is like how fast those videos were like being taken down. So just it almost seemed like censorship.
Well, I saw another video saying that they mimicked what they did, and it was like
Exactly the
very
same, right?
faulty.
It
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
very
Where it's
close to the
like
same.
they had so many issues, like trying to prove that it was right,
Yeah.
that it was fake, basically.
Not just that, but like I don't remember if it was Neil Armstrong or who it was, but like one of those people that like said they went to the moon.
They stated they never did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There was like
did
an
see that.
interview that came out where it was like, yeah, they told us to lie about, or I don't know if that's exactly what they said,
Yeah, I know.
but
I did hear that, and that's the reason why a lot of these people have been like shut down, because it's like you can't really speak out of lines when it comes to all that. Like, I'm sure
yeah.
NASA has them really like tight on what they could say.
And my concern is like the way I think about it is like I think about it practically. It's like if these people like secrets don't last, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if these people like felt some type of way about
Well,
what they
sometimes
did,
they'll probably come out.
somebody, yes,
Yeah,
someone's bound to
some
like,
whistleblower or something. It's bound to happen.
and the fact that it hasn't, or I guess like it's been proven that whatever has come out has been like a lie.
Yeah,
The
that's true.
fact that people are intentionally staying silent, it's like, okay, that's more sus than like you guys giving us all the information. You know what I mean, like
That's right.
it's like if you have to give me like 20% of the story, what's the other
What's
80%,
the
and
other?
why
Yeah,
can't you tell me what it is? That's neither here nor there, and it is what it is. I have no intention of going to the moon, and I don't think I'm going to
no,
live to see the time that
I don't think we'll.
we're taking shuttles up there, you know, for fun.
Yeah,
But
so I don't think it's impossible, like to get close to even remotely going, but
you don't think so?
no, I don't
Because you
think
know how
so.
you've heard like these billionaires or like trillionaires or whatever, they're like taking shuttles to space for
Well,
fun.
right now, Virgin Mobile, they
I saw
are,
that
yeah, they're trying to take you out to space,
for like
which,
450,000 a trip
yeah,
for like
and
a
it's not
person.
even going. It's just experiencing zero gravity falls. Like it's like they already do that.
Yeah, it's called
Like,
like what is skydiving? Not
um,
skydiving.
I don't know what it's called, but they do take you on a plane. They go out to
Like
our
break like
what
the atmosphere or
the
whatever.
atmosphere, and then they drop,
Yeah,
causing zero gravity to happen. Because
yeah.
obviously, with that drop, you have no weight.
Basically, what pilots do
Yeah,
every time
all the
they're
time.
piloting a jet. Like, don't they
Yeah,
have? They're like required. I think pilots like
It-
they're required to.
to sustain a few mocks
Like, yeah,
or
yeah.
yeah,
Like they
like
have to go through it.
yeah.
I worked with a pilot, and I remember him telling me he he had like an aneurysm while he was up there.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. He or
Yeah,
no embolism,
embolism
like
area.
a brain embolism. I think is what he had.
Wow.
Because an aneurysm kills you, right? An
Yeah, I think so.
aneurysm's like you're pretty much you're gone.
Yeah.
He had a brain embolism while he was up there, and I don't know if it was like a minor thing or if it was like it it didn't have like it didn't trigger until he finally got back to the floor. But I remember him saying like, yeah, like for a while half of his like face didn't work. Like he was like
Yeah,
he was
like
like
you just get
paralyzed.
like some sort of like paralyzed like
Yeah.
feeling to it.
Yeah, and I remember like thinking it's like man, like whatever you have to experience up there,
Hmm.
it must it must be like I mean, I get mad just getting on a plane and like you know when I don't know if have you flown?
I haven't flown recently, but
Son
I
of
think I
a
know what
bitch.
you mean.
That's why. Oh,
Yeah,
but you so you have flown.
yeah, I have flown
So
before.
like when you fly or even when you drive up a hill,
Hmm.
right? And then like
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
pressure
Like going
change.
up the grapevine.
Uh-huh.
And like your ears they clog up or whatever
Yes.
happens. I hate that. So it's like to be a pilot, man, good hey, good
Yeah.
for you guys. Like I couldn't.
Yeah. Well, I hear like especially like those those pilots who like fly those fast planes like the F-16s and all that. They have their lower bodies all pressurized
Right, it's
for
like
the yeah.
it's like a marshmallow. Like half of you is squished
Yeah,
down and the other half is
it's just for that. It's to
yeah.
adjust to all the pressure change and rapid movements and all that. Your body couldn't sustain.
Would you ever want to be a pilot?
My cousin's a pilot, so I
But
did
what?
I
Like
did consider. He's a commercial pilot.
so
Right now
he
he's doing private, but yeah, he's done it for like 10 years.
private. Does he ever tell you like
He's told me, he hasn't told me exactly what, but he told me he flies
He's done.
pretty important people,
He's seen some
maybe
stuff.
some celebrities or some
Yeah,
close to that. Yeah. So
that's kind
I
of.
would actually like to be in the field at least.
I always wondered, and like I've worked with some private security guys before, and I've always wondered like what happens if
Yeah.
you tell the secrets. You know what I mean? Like I don't think I'd ever want to work in a position where it's like, well, I can't say that because
Yeah,
I
you're
was I was in
former
the
military.
military, and it's like,
Did you know NASA actually did some sea exploration back in 1958?
sea exploration.
Sea exploration. They did it for 20 years after that. There's a lot of conspiracies saying, "Hey, they found something crazy down there. They're trying to get out of the planet."
Yeah,
Yeah, because they're like detonating TNT in the ocean too. Like it's like during those explorations,
I
they're
do.
releasing like
Yeah.
a lot of bombs out there. Like if they found something dangerous.
See, but I thought, and maybe that's true, but I remember like somebody saying that they were doing that to test the bombs, not to dig.
Well, they're always testing bombs, and they have
And I heard they
like
do it
Point
in the
Nemo.
ocean.
Point Nemo is the furthest like point in the ocean,
Yeah.
and that is probably the best place to try like nuclear or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why they haven't. I mean, besides being so fast, and like you said, like pressure in the sea, we saw it firsthand with the implosion of that submarine or submersible.
I wonder if did it say they found anything?
No, I don't think so. I saw a video on how it could have reacted. It
Yeah.
didn't look pretty for
Would you
them.
ever want to go to deep sea?
No. Oh no,
You would never want to
I
go down
do
there?
not fuck with the
Scuba
ocean.
diving,
I
nothing?
don't even swim in the ocean.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, true.
but
I don't know, dude. I feel like I'd want to.
you'd want to. As a kid, I always was like, oh, I would like to go explore the Amazons.
I'm
I'd like to
opposite.
explore, but I want to explore everything. I wanted to go to the deep sea,
Yeah.
like reading all these books, like Journey to the Center of the Earth or A Thousand Leagues Below. I was like really fascinated with the idea of just, oh, okay, I want to be an explorer until I realized, hey, the Amazon has like the most dangerous animals out there. They have jaguars, spiders, like anacondas. And I was like, no. And then the sea, we don't even know half of the shit that's down there. So I was like, nope,
See,
I'm not doing it.
as a kid, I was opposite. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Not doing the sea.
And now you do.
Can't do it. Now, as an adult, I'm like, I could punch a shark in the face, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I saw
I mean,
a
apparently
video.
you're supposed to like
Push it back,
push
like
it.
it show your dominance. But it's like if that shark is swimming 50 miles an
Yeah,
hour,
fast
you're
as
not
fuck.
gonna just swipe it down.
Yeah.
It's like the gators too. Like if you pull up on their chin, you have dominance.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's
yeah.
like, and the same goes for the sharks. You just push them down on their head. Is it?
Yeah, so it's like on the tip of their nose, right?
Yeah,
But it's
okay,
like
their
so.
nose.
So hear me out. Hammerhead. Where do you
Get the
put?
mouth.
Where do you push? Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
just push them down like a
You do it
paddle.
like a double door, like
Yeah.
a.
Poke its eyes on the sides. And just
Just give it the old pop.
have you heard of that? Where it's like if you ever get attacked by a shark, just sock it in its gills or its eyes.
I've never heard the gills.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Because
have
it's
heard
like
the eyes. Like
I don't know if it'd be like socking someone in the gut, but it's like if you hit a shark in the gills, it'll probably have trouble breathing.
yeah, true.
Or would it be breathing?
I don't know.
Because that's like the
Do sharks
transfer of
breathe?
water. Yeah. I'm sure they breathe, but it's like the gills transfer the oxygen to their lungs through water, right?
Oh, so
Is
that
that
makes
how it
'cause
works?
it's H2O. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I don't. Is it still
It's so
H2O
interesting.
in the ocean? Because there's all
Yeah.
this salt.
Oh,
They
yeah.
just add like the extra element of salt in there. H2O plus
it's all
sodium or whatever,
sodium.
whatever it would be. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like for deep sea, I would love. Here's the thing: I would love to go down there if I could. Like not the cage thing. You know how
Yeah.
some people like they'll
Oh no.
dunk you.
Yeah, I've
Fuck
seen that.
Yeah, I've seen that. I choose life. Right? No thanks. But I would like to like like in Mario.
In Mario.
In Mario, when you put the little bubble.
Oh, okay, yeah,
and you
yeah.
just become
And
like
just go
invincible
down
to
there.
everything.
Yeah.
If I could do that somehow,
That'd be so cool.
eat a star and then
Eat a star and just go down.
just go down there
And
like
start
I'm a video
knocking-
game character and then just like explore, right? I'm immune to having to breathe, and it's so stupid.
So, do you remember in Pirates of the Caribbean when Jack Sparrow and the other guy had that boat? And so I guess it's an actual phenomenon that happens. If you have like a boat or like any object of that sort, and you just push it down in the air, that'd be cool to do.
Yeah, they went to the bottom, right?
They were in the bottom when they had the air.
They were walking.
Isn't that crazy? Like, it's like, how is that even possible?
It's not.
It's not.
I don't think so, right? Because
No,
so if you think
I
about
heard
it,
it's real.
how? You'd have to be pretty strong.
Physics.
Like, no, see that's what I'm talking about though. Like, you know how when you try to push a Ziploc bag full of air into water, it comes back up.
Okay.
You're telling me Jack Sparrow's over there holding the boat at the bottom of the ocean while walking and he's not floating back
that's what
up?
happened, man.
That's some bullshit. There's unless they had like
Well,
anchors.
yeah, it must have had something.
Yeah, if
It was
they have
something heavy
anchors
enough,
like tied to the sides or something thrown over.
Or if they put the boat like at an angle where like submersed, and then it's like it leveled out, and then it had that air gap.
The best way that I could think about it is if there was like a crazy like air to water ratio to where like the air just wasn't heavy enough.
Yeah, where's all
to
CGI?
Push it back up. Or because it's a movie with CGI, yeah, that's true. But you're saying what you just said was apparently it's true that it can happen. So that's why
Yeah, I saw a video on it, and apparently physics. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. Science rules.
That sounds like some Mario shit. Yeah, I'd love to go deep sea.
Deep sea.
I just want to know what's down there, bro. And you know what though? You know what though? After the last episode that we did, where you talked about like apparently the pigs, like all the swine, they go like that's where they go.
That's the domain
towards hell or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd be frightened if I went down there. Pigs. Like
Pigs.
Just water breathing
pigs.
pigs, right? Just these adapted, like evolved pigs with gills. And then would they have teeth? You know, would they have tusks? Like if I saw pigs down at the bottom of the ocean,
just walrus at this point. You remember in the old times they used to talk about like sea monsters and like sirens and all these legends of the sea. Yeah, I'm talking about like Kraken or Cthulhu or like Leviathan.
I saw a video that was crazy like that. And you know what though? It was a video somewhere. I don't remember where, but basically it was like a great whale spot where it's like you sail by this spot and like it's like a certain season. All these like 15, 20 great whales just like come up all at the same time. And it looks, the way that they come up, because they come up like almost simultaneously, it looks like a kraken.
Really?
Yeah, when I had to watch the video like 4 times, and I'll see if I can find a clip of it. But they all come up, and like some of them don't open their mouths,
and
then some of them do, and so it looks like the ones that come up in the middle, they look like the head of a kraken. So and then the outside, they look like tentacles because some of them are opening their mouths.
Right. And I do hear about like religions or folklore like being told in a perspective of like, we don't understand what's happening, but this is what we could describe. So imagine like sailing a boat, and back in the day, I mean, we could have made 50-foot boats, and you're in the middle of the sea, and you see like a great white, and that thing's gonna look massive because they're already about 20 feet also. They're huge. So imagine like if all these tales were told by someone who survived, and they're like, hey, it was the biggest shark I've ever seen. It is like hundreds of feet, but in his perspective, that's how it was. Like how you're saying, it looked like a kraken.
You're basically talking about Moby Dick.
Basically, yeah. Like Moby, how big was apparently is a sperm whale. I don't know how big they are, but I'm guessing they're probably 50 feet.
And the other thing too is like you have to imagine the people that lived to see these things. They've got to be pretty messed up, right?
Oh
like,
yeah,
their heads.
They just came back. Even going and see. Have you heard of those? So the people like fleeing from Cuba, right? They go through. They go on boats on rafts and they try to reach Florida, right?
Yeah.
and most of those people go crazy because of the temperature. Obviously, they get dehydrated and all that.
Right.
And sea itself is so difficult to
Yeah, and
just navigate through.
they say that like the sun bouncing off the water, it's like times
It's just
two.
reflecting. Yeah, it's like
So it's
snow.
yeah,
Like you know how they.
snow's the worst
I
one,
never
isn't it?
understood what.
So I think snow's the worst one.
Yeah, I think it
Snow's
is
like the
because it's
biggest
so
reflector.
bright. Yeah, that's why I never understood why they wore goggles. I always thought, oh, it was probably
wind,
like
for the
going
snowboarders and all
exactly,
that,
but
yeah.
it's actually to protect their eyes from that sun reflection.
Yeah, because apparently like the snow, uh, because like coupled with the cold, it can like shrink, like shrivel your eyes almost. Like
Wow.
yeah, I don't know how true that is. I don't know if
I'll
it's
take my eye
bullshit.
drops next time.
Yeah, take the steroid drop. I don't know how much if you've ever looked into like chupacabra, like the tale of
Chupacabra.
that.
Yeah.
But like we were watching like one of those unsolved mystery files about it, and it was one of those cases where it was like I was sitting there watching it thinking, what if somebody was just like working on a farm, dehydrated, hadn't eaten in 2 days, saw a feral dog, and the whole tale
Yeah.
just came from that. But
it doesn't explain how the animals are just drained of blood.
and there was like only two like little fang
yeah,
holes,
yeah.
right? My theory on that, because the sightings or like the deaths of all the animals or the farmlands that were attacked by this mystical creature.
Yeah.
My theory about it is that it's a amphibious creature.
An amphibious.
Amphibious creature. Something
how
that
would that
can
be
swim
explained? Like,
oceans.
Like anaconda or like a snake or like.
I don't know. Like, I mean, you've seen like there could be like a crossbreed of like dog and gator, right? Like, I mean, like gators.
Dog and gator.
I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just saying like something. There's like obviously because we haven't been.
They're like
deep
a
sea.
spliced specimen.
Maybe there because like you've seen
maybe it's just like
when crocodiles float,
Yeah.
or like maybe it's alligator, whichever one. When they swim,
they're
you've
not
seen their vertical.
Yeah.
So like they're like at a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, that's interesting to see.
And so if they can do that, or if they do that, what in between like evolution's process is
Like that missing link.
is to stop like like a centaur type
animals.
deal.
Yeah, animals are always evolving.
Because
Always evolving.
the biggest thing that I saw about the whole mystery behind it, the chupacabra, was that they could never find like tracks or traces.
Okay.
And so to me, what if it like slithered off and it just like cleared its whatever tail, maybe it has a tail or something. It just like
But even snakes leave tracks. Like
yeah, you can
or
see,
like
the
yeah,
disturbance.
but a lot of these people they say that it has wings and they the conspiracies. They all talk about it being like some type of like werewolf looking thing and it just flies away.
The only reason I think it's amphibious is because that would be the cleanest escape.
Just to go like from land to sea or water? Or?
Yeah, well, the not cleanest escape, but like cleanest route, right? Because there's no saying how it got from point A to point B without disturbing anybody else, right? It's like, okay, one day it showed up in Miami, next day it was in like Costa Rica.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
No, these sightings are everywhere.
It's like how, but if you look at all the sightings, it's like the main ones where animals were actually slaughtered, it's all coastal. It's all like around like the perimeter of.
So that would make sense how it would be, unless it's like, dang, I don't know. Like,
yeah,
that's like
threw a wrench in the plan.
Yeah,
now,
you did.
Yeah, because it's and like the other thing is like what else do you know that has like clean bites like that doesn't live in the sea, right? Because a lot of the sea creatures they're lethal, but they're lethal with no tracks.
Did you ever have like a fictional character that you were like really enthused by or you really like looked up to? Like for example, I really like Hercules or Perseus.
Hercules, huh?
Yeah, dude, like it was just something cool to me, like being like so strong as he or whatever. Like
I don't know. Like I guess when I was like a little kid, I remember being into Power Rangers a little bit.
Power Rangers.
Like I remember like my biggest like superhero phase was like the original, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers
Mighty
movie.
Morphin. Those are legendary. I really
Tommy.
Like them. Yeah, R.I.P.
And like even then, like I didn't favor any one of the Power Rangers. Like I don't know. I never had like a favorite color.
Yeah.
Like I mean, yeah, like the Tommy, he, he was obviously like the coolest because
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how
he
they
was.
made him out to be.
Uh-huh.
So you say Hercules?
Hercules. Yeah.
What? Why Hercules though? Like just
Just over the like the mythology behind him, how he was like son of Zeus, the son of the god of gods. He was a demigod. He's half
not a
god,
great guy
half.
though.
Well, no,
Based off some of the lore that I've read, not the best
no,
guy.
maybe not. But especially watching that Disney movie, I was like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was like a super dad
yeah,
in
he
that
was
one, like
like,
just
dang.
big chest
Yeah, big,
glowing, throwing lightning bolts at
yeah.
people. But then, as I got older, read into the lore, and I was like, this guy's kind of a piece of shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, most of the things that he went through was because of Hera, right? Like he was enchanted and all that. Like
I didn't
he
know that.
did, yeah. So, Hera, I'm sorry, wife of Zeus. She didn't like Hercules.
But didn't she have a guardian, Argus?
Who's Argus?
Argus was like her keeper.
Possibly
Like I remember Argus being like her guardian. Like he would like
of
watch
Hera.
over her. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
know if that has anything to do with anything.
I
But
have no idea, but
I
I
didn't know
know.
Hera and Zeus were a thing though.
Yeah, Zeus is his father, and then Hera is not his mother, but she is the wife of Zeus. And so, since Zeus had basically cheated on her or betrayed her, she didn't like him. She thought of him like a bastard.
What about
And
Athena? I
so,
thought Athena was with Zeus.
Athena would no, she was Perseus's guide because
Okay.
Athena is the goddess of wisdom, right? A goddess of war.
War. Yeah.
And so she guided most of these ancient heroes. Athena, actually, if you know the city of Athens, that's the reason why it's called Athens, because it's named after her. It's a patron goddess.
True.
Yeah, so it just all ties
So
into
Zeus was with
Hera.
never Athena.
No, never Athena. Athena, she was Zeus's daughter,
Yeah.
and she was born of him,
So
like
what was
out of
the
a thought. Like it's interesting is how like Greek mythology like spikes. Like it's
like everything's cool and then just boom.
yeah, like it's like, oh,
Nonsense.
Zeus turns into an eagle, goes and has many kids here on Earth with the
Yeah.
son of man, right?
Yeah.
Or the daughters of man, and then it's like all these Greek heroes came about, but they're all demigods because they're half human.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like there was no one character as a kid. I mean, cuz like I watched a lot of it's going to sound weird because it's animated. I I feel like I'd have to say like Samurai Jack.
Dude, Samurai Jack. Did you hear that they're trying to bring it back,
They're
or
trying to
they
reboot
are
it or
making it?
something, yeah.
Yeah,
And like I'm not going to lie, dude, if you go back and you watch, it's so corny too. Like I didn't realize as a kid like how corny that show was.
which one?
Like Samurai Jack, like the
Oh,
original one.
I would have to watch it again because
Do it.
as kids you're like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever,
it's
and
action.
even like the fond memory of it, you still feel like, oh, the
Yeah.
nostalgia behind it.
Yeah, it's just like there's a guy with a sword murdering everything. It's
Yeah.
dope. He's a little he's the best.
Very unpopular opinion, but I don't like anime. Like maybe I haven't given it a shot, but that is what prevents me from watching
You have
any.
to find the right one. Like there's like anime is one of those like when you hear anime, people think that anime means like one
This
thing.
specific, yeah. Well, they all
Yeah.
come from manga, right? The written portion of it,
Some of them.
and then
Yeah.
it becomes anime.
Yeah, it's just like any other show. Like some of them they came from a book first, or some of them the show came out and then a book got written afterwards. And like I think the reason that some anime writers they write manga afterwards is to like fill
Just
in the
to
gaps.
yeah,
Because I
that
know that
makes
some
sense.
stuff gets written. Maybe it
Like
gets done
plot holes, right?
simultaneously. Yeah, because if you think about it, like when shows are written, not everything makes it in the show. Just because of screen time, right? Like they have to cut it to 20, 30, 45 minutes, whatever the screen time is. And so I'm sure that writers will try to like simultaneously release whatever they're writing with the show so like people can get like the plot holes filled in. Or maybe they'll wait for the cash grab, whatever. Dreaming is otherworldly.
Yeah.
The concept of dreaming is like it's you, but it's not you.
Yeah,
It's like it's
well,
you, but it's the parts of
I
you that you
wonder if
can't
it's
access.
like an evolutionary thing because it's like they say that some animals have been like tested and they've came out saying that okay, so like dogs they could dream. In most dreams, it's probably about the owner or like its
Yeah.
past experiences, you know. But I just want to know what happens when they're over here like kicking and like running. You ever hear your dog just do
Oh,
that?
I have
Like,
videos of it. Yeah, he's
yeah.
just his little paws are
I
just like.
wonder if it's like an evolutionary thing where he's like remembering hunting or something like.
It also makes you wonder, like, do all animals dream?
That's interesting.
Like, cause to my dog, he'll be asleep for like 10, 15 minutes max, and then boom, just starts dreaming. And it's like I know it doesn't take it. There's no way that I can start dreaming that quickly. Like I'm
Well,
pretty sure I
remember
have to be
their
asleep for like
perception of time is a lot
it's like
faster.
1/7 of our time or something like that. Like other 5 minutes to us is like an hour to
Not an
them
hour
or
to
something like
them.
that.
Yeah.
The other thing I learned about dogs is they, I think you actually told me this, I can't remember. They know routines based on smell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 they
you
do.
did tell me that. So like the scent, like if my
Like it's
scent
like if
starts to
you're sent,
diminish for a certain amount of time,
they
he
know you're
knows.
gone.
Yeah. So it's like if I'm gone for 2 hours, like there's a certain like part of my scent
That's
that
where
will
they
be
start
there.
getting if they let's say the scent begins to lapse, they become anxious, right?
Yeah,
And
like it gets past their normal time of being
that's
away.
when they start to get all worried and they're like, oh, they're running back and forth and they pace and then they start destroying
Chewing
shit because
stuff, yeah.
it's like anxiety's taking over them because
Yeah.
they don't know if you'll come back. Because based on that scent, they're
Yeah.
like, okay, it's gone for
They
now,
have
but
like
now
a
it's too
baseline.
long.
Yeah, they have like a
Yeah.
baseline, yeah. No one fictional character ever caught my attention where it was like, man, I wish I was that character. Not that I can think of. The one I always found the most amusing was Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Courage the Coward. So apparently that was based on a real like the real event.
Yeah, it was
Like
like about a
somewhere in
family
like
like
New
in the
Mexico.
farmlands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
it's like, did you know they had said that courage, this was all like perspective of the
I
dog.
know where you're going with this because I've heard it, but I'd love to hear.
So it's like you see how it's like the perspective of him encountering strangers, right?
Uh-huh.
And they were like these figures or demons or ghosts or anything of that sort, right?
Right.
But it was actually its interpretation of like an actual human, but it's like the qualities that they like mostly possessed were these.
Right.
And that's why to the dog it was like, oh, this evil person.
Yeah, so it's like because they say like dogs can see stuff that humans can't, and so
Apparently they could judge you.
yeah, I mean probably right because there's some dogs where it's like you'll try to get them to come to you and they're like I don't vibe with you. And maybe sometimes it's the dog. Like obviously they've been traumatized enough. Yeah, the theory that I heard was Courage saw the worst in the people, the ordinary people that would
That
come
makes
to the
better
house.
sense, yeah.
So it was like if it was like there was an episode with a salesman, like a lawyer carrying a briefcase trying to get Muriel to buy something, and like obviously the dog just saw the evil,
The
and like
evil,
that's
yeah.
it. But Muriel, and it never shows it from the human's perspective.
So Muriel is just this naive person throughout the whole thing.
Well, we don't know, right? Because so like all we
Or is
saw,
that was his preferred like human, so he saw her as the sweetest girl and like
right? So
yeah,
like
that is
like
true.
the theory is like everything is from Courage's perspective.
Yeah.
So what that means is like all we're gonna see is if he thinks something's evil, it's gonna be painted as evil, and that's all we're gonna see it as. But for Muriel and like I think that's why like the grandfather,
yeah.
he kind of
so
ugly
cranky.
looking. Yeah, he's like and he's
Yeah.
just always yelling at him.
Yeah.
And so like that might have been like that's
His
my owner,
perspective of
but
like,
like
hey,
he's still
this
evil.
guy's
So
messed up.
so that's kind of why like he had like an ugly look to him, but then Muriel was just like this sweet lady. And so the theory is like that we're seeing everything through Courage's perspective. Yeah.
Very interesting.
And it's kind of messed up. Right? Cuz it's like there's a lot of episodes with just like monsters or like
Yeah.
aliens, and it's like almost all of the like unsolved mysteries they managed to throw into that show.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of like Disney being frozen? Like the actual person of Disney, Walt Disney?
He is. Yeah, I think it's pretty much
That was such a big thing back in the day. Like, what do they call it? The cryo
Cryo,
preservation or
yeah.
something like that, where they would freeze your body until who knows what
Yeah,
time.
it's like the way I think where I'm at now in life is like if I've seen a movie or a show where something happens, it's like it's already happened.
Yeah, but yeah, it
I think that's
has to
where
be.
I'm at.
Yeah, I mean,
Except
there's no
for Fast
reason.
and Furious 12 or
Oh
15 or
no.
whatever, where they're driving in space. That's nonsense.
Well, it's because of family.
Oh, I hate it so much.
Yeah. You also watch Rick and Morty, right?
My favorite show
Rick and
ever.
Morty.
Yeah.
So apparently, the creator of Gravity Falls and the creator of, or one of the co-creators of Rick and Morty, they know each other, and they're gonna do like a crossover,
shit.
right?
That'd be wild.
I still wish they could do that because I love both shows.
Yeah.
So if they could do that, that'd be a dream come true.
Is Gravity Falls like a comedy? Is it supposed to be like
Yeah,
comedy, like kind of like Rick and Morty?
Yeah,
where
it's a
like just loose
comedic.
going.
Yeah, but it's not as loose as Rick and Morty. It's a little bit more like toned down because it's like apparently it was the experience of him, the creator, right? Because they're twins,
Yeah.
right? They're both twins, and apparently him and his twin
Yeah.
is like they resemble his characters, and it's something experiences that he had, but it might
Weird.
just be all imagination,
Yeah.
or something he like had like perspective, like oh when I was a kid this is what happened and this is how I saw things, and then he created the show. Do you think we'll ever get to that point where we discover like some like you ever see how in some movies or whatever they have that space jump where it's like they're in one place, they set coordinates and they just and they land
And then what?
and they just arrive to wherever they're at, or like portals or anything of that nature.
Oh, you're saying like humanity? Will we ever get
Yeah,
there?
do you think we'll ever get there, or like eons eons later, like it's like not even in our what grandkids' lives.
I don't
We wouldn't
know.
even
That's
see
another
that.
like that's another conspiracy thing, right? Because it's like the word on the street is that they're already doing it. Like you know
You
how
think
you
so?
see like
I don't know. I mean, so it's funny to think, right? You've driven before, and it's like the paths aren't always clear. You know, have you ever like?
What the fuck are you saying right now?
So okay,
What the
if you're driving, you're always gonna have an obstacle, right? Whether it being like a pothole or like another car, right? If you, this is the reason why I'm saying this is because I don't think there is a possibility of even having a space jump, because if you're in, let's say you're at this point and you jump to a different point, wouldn't you eventually crash into something?
So your argument against this is the timelines are too random. Like there's a pothole here, but not a pothole there.
Not necessarily. I'm saying that there would be obstacles in your way. Like let's say you're at one point in space and you're trying to get to the opposite end of it. And
But there's all this stuff in between.
yeah, like
that's
it's
in
like
the way.
meteors or like other ships, or like you know how like
So
like
you're-
just to fly alone you have to tell your airspace, you have to
Right.
like, because if not you'd have airplanes crashing left and right. But it's like if you're in a spaceship and you are trying to space jump, wouldn't you eventually crash or like?
So your frame of thought is when you space jump, you still maintain somewhat of a course. You still go from A to B, and like you have to beeline straight there. So you're what you're telling me is that you don't just teleport from here to there. Like you still go in a straight
is that
line,
what
just
happens?
at hyper speed.
Would
So,
that
like,
would that be what happens? They teleport from this place to that place.
the way that I see it, I'm not a scientist. This is way outside of our league here. But the way that I would think that it works is because we're traveling at such a capacity that our molecules would have to break down to like finite levels and then reintegrate at point B. So what that means is like nothing stands in our way. because we would be like quantum realm type shit.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd be human, quantum realm, back to human.
Back to human.
So like everything in between those spaces, non-existent, or like so fine that, or so much more dense that we just pass through it. That's the way I understand it to happen. Are we there? I don't think so. I don't think we'll see it in our lifetime. I don't even think our grandkids will see it, to be honest.
Can't even go to the bottom of the sea, like.
Well, and again, who's to say like we haven't, right? Because there's a good chance like this goes back to the moon thing. It's like if we've been there,
have we?
If we've been there, why haven't we gone back?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like,
why when we were there, why didn't we drop a couple off and be like, all right, Adam and Eve, this shit, and we'll see you.
Adam and Eve.
Yeah, we'll see you in a few hundred years.
Do you think? Okay, because of that, if we did the whole Moses thing where we took, basically, yeah, like
Isn't
you said,
it a waterless planet?
Yeah, but it's like, let's say we took 2 of every species and we just dropped it there.
Oh, the Noah's Ark
thrive thing. Yeah, like, yeah.
Okay.
Would it even be possible? Like,
I don't think so. I think like whatever we put there would have to be there since like they would have to be born there, because if it's not born with like the moon's adaptation, it's not going to evolve right, and then it'll just die. Like
that is true, but there are only certain, I think, not even like animals, there are microorganisms like the water bears. Have you heard of the water bears?
Never heard of it.
So these,
I don't like it though. I can tell you that much. I don't like the sound of water plus bears.
Water bears, they are like microorganisms, and they just withhold crazy temperatures, and they're just like, they're the only known creature to probably survive space.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't
know. Octopus are not from here. Like, you know how there's a lot of meteorites.
I believe that because I believe that specifically because of the sunlight. Because you've heard, I don't know if you've heard, octopus, they can't come to the surface or stay at the surface for too long because sunlight like literally blinds them.
Is that right?
Like blinds them. Yeah, like if they're not in like the deep dark, and maybe it's Kraken, maybe I don't know if it's just octopus. But yeah, apparently like if you expose like their eyelids or whatever to sunlight, blind for the rest of their life. Wow. Yeah.
So the theory behind that is that with all these like meteorite fragments or asteroid fragments, they carried like some type of specimen.
Bacteria.
Yeah, bacteria that later evolved into being an octopus.
An octopus or a kraken. That doesn't sound far off. I mean...
Because, I mean, if you study all the animals, the octopus is just like out there.
So
like,
it makes you wonder, can we get an octopus to space? And if we could...
We should probably try it.
If we could get one to the moon, would it survive?
Would it need the water?
Not just that, but what would be interesting too is what if like when it gets to the moon, it turns into like something completely different.
It evolves differently.
Right? So, or like an octopus is the way it is here because it had to evolve that way. But then it gets to the moon and it just like grows 2 legs and starts walking. Can you imagine?
It'd be crazy.
Like octopus are like the moon people.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
I don't
moon
know.
people.
Yeah,
moon trees.
What's the weirdest place you've ever like stayed in? Like a hotel.
No, hotel.
Like, I'll give you an example. We stayed on a ghost ship once.
Did you stay at the Queen Mary?
Queen Mary.
Queen Mary, yeah. Okay.
Haunted as
yeah.
Definitely haunted.
You experienced anything?
Definitely. I wouldn't say I experienced anything, but just like, maybe it's just because everybody around there kind of manifesting it in a way. They're all like, oh, watch out, like this room over here, it's got claw marks for a reason, and there's a whole area. When we went there, it was like during COVID or right after COVID or right before it, I don't remember, and they had shut down like the pool. There's like a pool in there.
Oh, is there?
But like the pool like had a bunch of stories behind it. I think like a child had fallen in there and had passed away in there, and because like nobody was watching it or something like that, and then like it was said that the child like haunted the pool area, and so I don't know what happened. Like, I think maybe the Queen Mary closed down for like a year, and people went in
Oh
there and
wow.
like vandalized it.
Yeah.
Because like when we saw it, it was like tagged up. Like there was like construction everywhere. It looked like people had gone in there and just wrecked it. And so they had it closed down, but we were able to look at it through like the window. There was like a window in the door. And I just remember like the stories of like, yeah, sometimes we'll walk by here and there's like echoes of like kids playing or something like that. And so it's definitely haunted. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's because people are talking about it or
No, I think there is probably a story behind it. You know how they say it's like it's haunted for various reasons, like a traumatic death. Like it's like
yeah.
they're the souls of whoever is like still trapped there, and then it's like these multiple deaths. Like it just creates more of a haunting. But
You never stayed anywhere like that.
I used to live in a house in Mexico that was pretty haunted.
What?
And they used to say, yeah, they used to say my uncles, there's this big old freaking pool there, and they used to say like if you were like to go like pretty deep, they'd like pull your leg, because apparently someone died in that pool too. So yeah,
Did you ever try?
I swam in there
You
a few
tried.
times, but I was a little kid, so I don't.
You were like, "Here, little ghost,
Whatever.
come grab my leg."
But that place was haunted. And I remember I had a dream about 2 years ago about that same house, because this was a freaking huge house, like
Yeah.
a mansion sort of, and yeah, that place was pretty bad.
It was messed up.
Yeah, like I saw in my dream, I like was led down this like corridor of that mansion, right?
Yeah.
And you know what the Santa Muerte is?
Refresh my memory. It sounds
So
familiar.
Santa
But
Muerte is basically those who worship like the death, right? Like you
okay,
have
I've never
very
heard of
grim
this.
reaper type thing. Like it's like
No.
yeah, so it's an actual like a saint, I guess you could
What's
say.
the point? So like Santa is like Saint Muerta, like so
yeah,
like it's
yeah.
like
So it's saint of death. It was like in that dream I saw a big old statue and everything was like all red and dim, and I haven't been there in more than 20 something years. So for me to just have that same like I I was there, dude. Like
yeah, that's
I
kind of
saw the
yeah,
whole. So that's probably one of the most haunted places I've been as a kid.
yeah,
But most recently at the Winchester House.
yeah.
And I also went during like, or either during or post COVID.
Did you watch the movie before you
I
went?
have not.
Don't watch the movie.
Don't watch it.
I wouldn't.
Mm.
I've on act no, I don't even know why I'm telling you that because I've never seen the movie, but I can just tell you as
Just
someone
don't
who's
waste time.
been to the house because I don't remember, but I think we were told that like some of the stuff and obviously it's
It
all
was
like
like made
super
up for
exaggerated,
like for the movie movie purposes. Yeah.
But having been there, knowing that it's made up, still kind of messes with your head because it's like,
You know, I'm oblivious when it comes to all that. I'm
me.
like,
nope. I'll see stuff out of my peripheral and like I'll t- I'll see stuff that's like routine for some people and like once I pick up on that routine, I'll know that they're about to do it and I'll like without even looking,
they're
I'll
doing
reach
it.
out to like stop them or tap them or be like, "Hey, don't do that," or like, "Hey, like shut up, pay attention." Whatever's happening, I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so yeah, no, it doesn't get by me. The Winchester's it's a different breed for sure. Like going there, it's not even like the whole haunted aspect of the Winchester. It's like what was going on with that lady.
Well, apparently she was being haunted by
Right, the
right,
construction
and
workers
she was
that
like, okay,
yeah,
we're gonna go ahead and trick them
all the
into
people that like their Winchester rifle
yeah.
killed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what I meant. Like I know what was going on with her, but it's like in her head.
You think it was like dementia or like schizophrenia or something like that?
I don't know. I mean, I guess if your conscience gets guilty enough, you'll start creating. So
Well,
like,
they do say that it's like, let's say if you say something enough or you believe it,
yeah, it's like a chant.
it's real.
It's like affirmations, like
Pretty
like
much.
people that do affirmations. It's
Right.
like you say it enough, like you
You
start to feel better.
Yeah.
You become that.
Mm-hmm.
But and that makes me wonder. It's like I wonder if I kind of want to meet her.
The lady, is
Just
she still alive?
no,
Oh,
no.
okay. Like
But
just to me, like
just to see, like, for
she's the
myself,
one haunting the place now.
right? So, like, just to see if like the story is true, right? It's like, is this lady really crazy? Like, if I walk down the hallway with her, is she gonna like really knock on the door 3 times before?
I mean, you think about all these like legends, like Bloody Mary or like Candyman and all that, and you think like, where did they come from? Like, was it like some crazy person doing crazy
Back
shit?
to the
And then
chupacabra, like
yeah,
it could have just been a construction worker that dehydrated, been working for a week straight, and like they just the nails start talking to him. I don't know, but like some of the stuff in that house is like the layout, like the staircase, how to make them narrower, make them wider, confuse the ghosts, doors that go nowhere. It's just like, did people think that that stuff worked back then?
I don't know. I
Like,
mean, people think very differently nowadays than they did then.
I think people just, they're kind of over it. I think they don't care. I think people are like, it's either you get me or I pay rent tomorrow. I think that's where people are at this point. That's going to wrap up episode 2 of the Twigs podcast. Let us know the scariest place you've ever stayed and scary story that came with it. Look for us on episode 3 next Wednesday. We'll see you next time.
All right, bye guys.
Peace.